Welcome, beloved friends, to Daily God's Promise, Day 5. Today, July 5, 2025, we delve into a profound moment of reconciliation and generosity found in Genesis chapter 33 verse 11. Please, take my blessing that is brought to you, because God has dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. So he urged him, and he took it. It captures Jacob's heart at a pivotal moment, reuniting with Esau after decades of fear and separation. His profound generosity here is rooted in two essential spiritual truths that can transform our own lives. 1. A gift born of gratitude and contentment. Friends, this verse comes from one of the most anticipated and anxiety-filled reunions in the Bible: Jacob meeting his brother Esau. After years of separation following Jacob's deception, Jacob prepared for the worst, sending wave after wave of gifts ahead of him to appease Esau. But when they finally meet, a miracle of grace unfolds. Esau is unexpectedly gracious. It's in this context that Jacob, despite Esau's initial refusal, insists that Esau take his gift, which he calls a blessing. His insistence is rooted in two profound reasons. Because God has dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. This verse offers a powerful antidote to a world often driven by greed, comparison, and scarcity mindsets. 2. Because God has dealt graciously with me. The fuel of gratitude. Jacob's first and primary motivation for his insistence on giving is his overwhelming recognition of God's grace. Despite his cunning past and all his fears, God had faithfully protected him, prospered him, and brought him safely back to his homeland. Jacob understood that his wealth, his safety, and his very life were not due to his own efforts or schemes, but solely to God's undeserved favor. This profound acknowledgement of divine grace transforms generosity from a mere duty or a strategic maneuver into an overflowing act of worship. When we truly grasp how graciously God has dealt with us, giving becomes a natural, joyful response of thanksgiving. 3. And because I have enough. The freedom of contentment. Jacob's second motivation, because I have enough, is equally profound. This isn't just a statement about his material abundance, though he was indeed wealthy. It speaks to a deep spiritual contentment and sufficiency. Jacob had come to a place where he recognized that God's provision was ample. He was satisfied with what he had been given. This mindset liberates us from the endless pursuit of more, the comparison traps, and the insecurity that often hinders generosity. When we genuinely believe we have enough, because God is our source and sustainer, we are free to share generously, knowing that our ultimate security rests not in what we possess, but in the God who provides. 4. Giving as a blessing. For reconciliation and worship. Jacob purposefully calls his gift a blessing, barakah. This term elevates it beyond a mere transaction. It signifies an act of goodwill, reconciliation, and propitiation. In that moment, Jacob's giving was intertwined with his desire for peace with his brother, transforming a fearful encounter into a sacred moment of reconciliation. But it was also an act of worship to God. His generosity flowed from a heart that understood itself blessed by God and sought to extend that blessing to another, especially in a situation ripe for healing. True giving, born from gratitude and contentment, holds immense power to mend relationships and reflect God's own overflowing nature. 5. Cultivating a life of gracious generosity. Today, for this July 5, 2025, I encourage you to reflect on God's incredible grace in your life and to cultivate a spirit of enough. Challenge the cultural narratives that constantly push you to want more. Practice being truly grateful for what God has already provided. And then, from that place of gratitude and contentment, embrace radical generosity. Allow your giving to be a blessing that fosters peace, reconciliation, and demonstrates God's overflowing goodness. God desires for his people to be channels of his blessing to the world, not reservoirs. May your life be marked by the profound contentment and generous spirit of Jacob. God bless you and give you grace after grace.